Michelle Bangert, Managing Editor of Quality. I'm here today at the MAX event in Nashville, and joining me is Thomas Balch of Hexagon. So Thomas, welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
So to start off with, can you tell us what's new with your organization?
Well, the past year or so, we have had some leadership changes at the top. So that's new and encouraging. So it's always encouraging when you have new leadership that is interested in the products. Not only that, but interested in the people, willing to invest some resources to make some new products better and things like that. So that's encouraging. One of the things that we do have coming is a new CMM that we've just launched.
Oh, good.
But to tell you about that, you have to go back several years. Back in about 2000, I'll date myself a little bit, but back about 2000, we released the global CMM. The global for the past couple decades has been a staple in the quality world. The most reliable, the fastest CMM. But as things change in this industry, so does the equipment. So we've invested a lot of resources and used a lot of that knowledge from the global to launch our new Maestro CMM.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's good. So when you talk to customers today, are there certain challenges that you've seen a lot of them facing?
Sure. I mean, there's always quality challenges. I mean, let's face it, quality seems to always be perceived as a bottleneck in the manufacturing world. We don't make chips. We don't do things of that nature. So there's always that bottleneck. And part of the challenge with manufacturing is to show them how important quality is, return on investment, and justify the purchase of quality equipment. So it's always a challenge in manufacturing quality.
For sure. Yeah, it seems like just, if one recall or something could have been prevented, that will take care of it, but you don't want to have the recall.
Right,
so the preventive, of course. So when customers are implementing a new technology, what have you seen is the hardest part of getting people to get on board?
It's a good question. The thing you're going to find in the quality industry are a lot of people that have been working in this field for a lot of years. And I think there's going to be a turnover, and we don't have the younger generation. Now, what happens when you have that new technology coming in and you've got old timers, let's say, that are set in their ways? It's hard to convince them how this new technology is going to help them and give them better throughput and make their products better. So that's the challenge, really, is just anytime you have new technology, the proof is in the pudding, and that's usually the challenge, is to get people to buy into the new technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just at the lunch today. People were talking about different industries where, mining, they're embracing kind of some new things, and manufacturing's hard, and, ports and all these other areas.
It is.
Yeah, it's interesting. So is there any advice you'd give quality professionals on trying to introducing new technologies, or how you can get people to be more interested in embracing of these?
Well, look, the only advice I could probably say is to do your due diligence, check everything out, don't make snap decisions. Let's come see a demo of the product, bring your own parts, let us measure these parts, and prove the technology. That's really the only advice, is to educate yourself as best you can. These shows are sometimes a good way to do that. I always tell quality professionals it's a good thing to come to this show so you can see what's new, and then take that back to your company and be smarter, I guess.
Yeah, it's so nice to see something in person, like, oh, that's how that works, versus the screen version of what something looks like.
Well, and there's nothing worse than, I guess, your boss saying, hey, why didn't we know about this new technology?
Yeah.
So it's important that they come to these shows.
Sure, for sure. So can you tell us, I know you mentioned you've been in the industry a little while. So
I have.
Can you tell us, how has quality changed since you got started?
Some parts of it have changed significantly. Some parts, like I told you before, some things never change. But I would say, in our world, in metrology in general, the sensor technology has changed. When I started, we didn't use lasers to measure things. Non-contact was almost unheard of. And now that seems to be the wave, is speed, non-contact sensor technology and things like that. So that seems to be the biggest change, is in the sensor technology. CMMs are still CMMs. They're the most accurate devices that we can measure with still today. But the sensors that we carry and how we measure customers' parts has changed significantly. Obviously, software has changed with the CAD and the PCs that we use and the processors and things like that. So considerable change in that sense. How we do it sometimes never changes. It's still the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, the being scared of new things and adopting new technology, no matter what it is. It's a computer versus AI or whatever's next.
I think the younger generation probably has a little easier time adapting to new technologies and sensors and things like that. But when you've been using something for 15, 20 years and it's working great, it's the old why change type thing. So that's where the challenge is.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, you can see both sides, but then it's like, well, if you don't change, someone else is, so you might want to look into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense. Can you tell us, how did you first get involved in quality? What drew you to the field?
That's a great question. Well, I started as an applications, I came out of the aerospace world and was an engineer, and I saw quality being used. I didn't use it personally, but when I decided to make the change, I don't know, it just sort of looked like the field that I wanted to be a part of, and it spiraled from there. I started as a small applications engineer programming CMMs for about 3 or 4 years. Moved into sales. I moved here to Nashville about 26 years ago. And here we are now. So it was just, something that I had seen in manufacturing from a previous life. Always loved it. When you see someone working in an air-conditioned room, it sort of catches your eye. So,
that's great.
But no, I'm glad I did. It's been a great career.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Yeah, definitely. You see more people need to discover it or happen upon it, or just from another industry or field.
Sure.
So that's great. That's good. And just for kind of big picture, what do you like best about working in quality? Is there something you think that makes it especially appealing?
It is. So in my particular field, the thing I love best is one day I might be at an automotive manufacturer, and then the next day I'm at a manufacturer for rocket engines, and then someone that makes buckets. And then, so the diversity of the clientele is what's most attractive to me. Sometimes jobs can become monotonous and you do the same thing every day. That's not the case in our world. So especially, Hexagon's world, we have a huge clientele and we get to see a lot of diverse industries. So that's probably the best thing about it.
Yeah. That reminds me, someone on the tour yesterday I was talking to, they said their company covers such a range of technologies. So the shows they go to, one is a poultry event. Yeah. Another one is for the Marines. So it's like the whole gamut from farm to military. And so that makes sense. But yeah, and that is definitely fun to be at a new place and see new applications behind the scenes. And
it is. And you see that throughout your life. You start to notice things when you're sitting in a restaurant and you go, wow, we measure that, or, at a hockey game last night, you can see certain things and realize that, wow, we touch just about everything. So.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. Someone else was just talking about a crayon factory and the smell and all that. Yeah. So it's a cool field to see.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So I think those were the main questions I wanted to ask today, but are there other things you want to mention or you think we should include here?
I can't think of it.
Okay, no, that's no problem. So, all right. Thank you, everyone, for listening and have a great rest of your day.